What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. All right, guys, I had an idea that I wanted to share here with you and get some feedback since we're talking so much about node licenses and about vouchers and all that good stuff. Now, here's the thing. I think that node licenses, well, let me start with this. I think that SPS staking already has enough utility, enough benefits. I think you can always add more, and I would love for the team to add more. But at this point in time, I think it'd be okay if we were to take vouchers away from that. I think people would probably still want them, but if we were going to remove it, I think it would be the node licenses that everybody's talking about more. In fact, Crypto Eater just posted an update on his proposal saying that this is something that even if the proposal passes, it's not going to go into effect until there is some kind of contingency put in for the node license holders. So I'd like to throw something into the mix here that I think could potentially be a good idea, but again, open to feedback from you guys. And I know you never hold back. So here's the thing. I'll give a nod to Bulldog because I've seen Bulldog say this several times. I think it's a fantastic approach and perspective. He talks about how node licenses should be something that every player in the game wants because it touches every aspect of the game, right? It's helping to decentralize the game, and it shouldn't just be something for investors, right? We all live in a Web3 space here. This game exists in a Web3 space, so it shouldn't be like a Web2 space. If you're helping to run the network by getting a license, running a node, doing all that stuff, then you should get some benefits from that, right? And so he's talked about give it a benefit on ranked play, right? Give it a little bit of like a boost or something, percentage boost on your glint, give it something on land, give it something in brawls and guilds and all that, just so that every player is incentivized. And therefore you help to decentralize the game and the entire SPS chain once that goes live even more. So now specifically looking at land, the one thing that came to mind, and I know we have a white paper, but that seems like it's more of a rough draft. And I think Matt even said so, right? It's a rough draft. But the one thing that came to mind is, what if we were to take vouchers and literally swap them out with another resource that is required for land? So all of a sudden, node licenses become much more integrated with land. Now you can still do all the other stuff. I think Bulldog's got a good idea, right? Of like ranked play and all that. But at the very basic level of this, people want to have some kind of tradable token that they get. So swap out vouchers, which have essentially not fulfilled their purpose, and give it something on land, and make sure that you do it so that it's not it's not something that can be it's not something that is just going to be diluted forever. For example, right? Like don't make 40,000 of whatever. Make it so it's like a much smaller number, and each node license gets just a small piece of that. I guess that's what happens with vouchers right now. But 40,000 was just way too high. But you almost want land in a way, or certain aspects of land, to be gated by the node licenses, right? Now, granted, land is going to be this whole complex whatever, and you're going to have a bunch of different resources. But if there's certain things that are gated by whatever resource you give exclusively to node licenses, then that will make them way more desirable, because whatever's coming out, whatever they're producing, ends up being valuable, raises the APR. And if people want more or whatever, they go buy it on the secondary market. And if there's no more left on the secondary market, that pushes people to buy it in the store to get a piece of it, right? So to me, I think that there could be a very easy hot swap of a certain resource for land. Now, Matt would have to go back and redesign Land 2.0 white paper, which I think he's going to have to do anyway, right? And this would probably not be something that's like a Land 1.7 or 1.8. It might be a little bit further out. So just keep that in mind, because I don't know that you can give like a natural resource to node licenses. But I know Nate and the creative team are brilliant, so they'll be able to find a way to integrate and say like, oh, the citizens of Pretoria are helping to decentralize the power structures that be, blah, blah, blah. I'm Joey and or Breaking Benjamin and Nate will come up with something way better. But my whole point is that you could really integrate it into land, where it's still going to give out SPS, but it will also give out this really valuable, valuable is going to be subjective, but this really scarce item that is something that is required for land. Now, with where land is right now, with where Matt has talked about in terms of like the immediate future, they have said they've wanted to get more resources online. So it's not just grain, right? But to get all the other, I think it's wood, stone, and ore, and then have there be some kind of requirement in order for you to do research. So it's not just, you just do research for free. You have to have an assortment of resources and yada, yada, right? Like, so that, I don't know that you could give any of those resources to node licenses. But if there was something that they could create, I mean, all you literally have to do is rename vouchers, right? Which I don't know how difficult or easy that would be, but I say you completely wipe out vouchers and just add something in game. And therefore, it doesn't even need to be tied. And here's where I think it could get easier for the team, right? Because it doesn't even need to be tied to the SPS chain, which Matt has come out and said really complicates the level at which things are. It complicates like the development, right? To have additional tokens on the SPS chain. So in that way, you wipe out vouchers and then you introduce this new token and have it only be given out to people who are holding, and maybe if they implement it, like holding and staking their node licenses in the game. And then it gives you the thing in game rather than giving it to you on the SPS chain, right? So again, to me, a simple hot swap would be perfect. And if you want to gate research in this way, imagine like putting something out there that gives, it's a requirement for research, right? So not only do you need the natural resources, but you'll need stuff from the node licenses. And we do have over 5,000 node licenses available already. And with land, hopefully starting to ramp up once the new player experience is done, if the team is able to start implementing different aspects of 1.6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it is, throughout the next 12 months, that could be huge, right? That could be huge. I really think a simple hot swap of a new resource that is somehow fundamental to land being something that's available. And not only that, then you create another liquidity pool, right? Another liquidity pool that people who have these node licenses where, if they don't want to sell on the market or if they want to get a piece of that, they can just go throw it into the LPs. So that's my idea for this. Again, it'll take not just dev work, but also design work, as well as creative, right? I mean, somebody has to think through how all this stuff is going to actually fit together. Matt would have to go back through into the Land 2.0 white paper and figure that out and sort it. But to me, that represents the easiest and cleanest way so that there's still a token reward, but and so therefore node license holders still feel like they're getting something of value. But I don't know. That's my thought. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you think, I don't know. Yeah, just let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Very curious to hear what the feedback on this will be. I'll catch you all in the next one and see you around the game. Take care.